My interpretation of this is if you're bidding a job and you can't get a particular trade, I need a fireproofing contractor. They're not out there, or they're too busy, and or I need a utility contractor and I can't find one, or I call three and they're all busy. What do you do? And that's happening more and more now due to the circumstances in our economy, our country. A lot of issues are causing trade shortages. I talked to a guy the other day that says, I can't man my jobs. I said, well, what's the problem? He said, the highest I can pay and still be competitive in this market is $15 an hour. My guys are leaving to go to work at McDonald's for $18 an hour. I said, you're kidding me. He said, no. I said, they're painters? He said, yep. I can't pay some of these laborers more than 15 or make a profit or even keep my doors open. They're leaving to go make $18 an hour at McDonald's. And I'm not kidding. This is true as I'm standing here. So you're going to have a harder time finding people to fill the spots, even in your own company, as well as trying to find people that are enough staff on their side. That poor guy said, look, I'm bidding jobs, but I'm having to bid smaller jobs because I only got 4 painters now. I used to have 10. He can't bid the big jobs. So you come up with a trade shortage. You hire the guy, he can't perform because he doesn't have enough men. That's not his fault. So trade shortages, there's a few things you can do. What we used to do in my world was we would do marketing, literally. Come see us today. We're going to be serving lunch, X construction company. Come for a free lunch and get to know us. We'd shake hands, get to know us, get to know what we were about, what kind of work we did, what kind of work we planned to do, the people we had, all the way from the receptionist all the way down through as many people as I could have them introduce themselves to. Market yourself so that people are more apt to come to you and say, you know, I met these people. They're really good. They look honest. They look like they're a good company to work for. So you have to do a little bit of marketing. And not only that, but it's also go out and find out what is your local locality, so to speak. What is the availability? There are a lot of spots in the U.S. right now that are blank. Nobody wants to work anymore. You couldn't get them to put on a tool bag if you paid them $100. They think construction is a low-life, good-for-nothing job. It's so wrong. I get so upset about this because if anybody out there was thinking about going to work in construction right now, I tell them, think about it. It's computer technology, it's laser technology, it's satellite technology, it's robotics, it's some of the most complex methodology today in construction that you would ever believe. There are a lot of people out there that are gamers. And I had a guy one time that looked at my total station on a project that is satellite driven. It's reading a satellite to help me lay out the site. And I'm using lasers with it. And I'm dialing in the numbers here to get my latitude, longitude, elevation above sea level. He goes, wow, that's just like the game I do. And I'm like, oh, really? I said, how'd you like to try this? He goes, let me see that. And in a matter of a few minutes, he realized, wow, this is cool. This is better than me sitting at home playing on a computer game. So there takes a point where you have to market. In other words, tell people out there that, you know, it's not what you think. You're not going to be necessarily always be in a ditch digging. That may happen, but it's not just that. It's opportunity. I started out digging ditches. I worked my way up to a carpenter, then I went to a foreman, then I went to a crew foreman, then I went to a company foreman, then I went on and on. It grew. And so you have to do some marketing though, and it's both ways. Let them know you, and you go out and find out who you can meet. Now, here's another one, bonuses. Now, the word bonus is always tricky because what is a bonus? Is it money? Maybe. It could also be job security. I used to market to people and say, you know, if you come to work here, we have enough work for the next 5 years on contract. 5 years worth of work. If you come to work for us, think about that. You're highly possible that you would have employment for 5 years with this company. Insurance, benefits, vacations, Christmas parties, maybe a hunting trip every once in a while. Things like that. Bonuses. Doesn't have to be a money. I'm going to pay you $10,000 bonus if you can finish this job on time. There can be that. that comes from the good marketing and some of the other things I mentioned in some of these other issues. But a bonus can mean a lot in terms of job security, family security, insurance. Just think about that. I hired people that were about to be new parents, and I said, think about it. I'd like to have you come to work here. We have insurance. Insurance helps pay for maternity, helps pay for medical. Think about it. You know, there's some things here that, you know, we probably are going to put you in a company truck. You won't have to drive your own car. We pay for the gas. Those are bonuses. And that's where you get people to help keep from having a trade shortage. I actually had to create my own crews. I couldn't find trim carpenters, couldn't find any out there. So I took my concrete form carpenters, which is considered a sow's ear, so to speak. They can do anything they want in terms of their 30-ounce hammers and their mud boots. I had to turn them into the silk purse. Trim carpenters are inside a finished space, walking on carpet, putting on expensive hardware, and hanging solid oak doors. And I said, okay, guys, if y'all want to stay with me, if you want to keep working for me, I need you to drop all that heavy stuff. Spend about a week with me on a job site, and I'll teach you how to run trim, hang a door, put on the hardware. And I've got a year's worth of that waiting for me on a DoubleTree hotel. I've got to get it done. I don't want to go out and look elsewhere. And I did it. I retrained them. So the proverbial sow's ear into the silk purse worked. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to create your own people. You don't have them. You have to make them. And that means maybe giving them some trade school or what I call OTJ, on the job training. And it was funny because I had guys that were used to hammering on concrete and chewing tobacco, and they looked like a killer biker gang. And the next thing I had was guys wearing uh, indoor shoes with little 20-ounce hammers and screw guns hanging solid oak $350 a piece doors and doing it right. So they got the security of the job. They learned a new trade. They had the ability to go somewhere else if I wanted to. Uh, I mean, if they wanted to, or I ran out of work, they now could say, look, I can form concrete or I can hang doors. What do you want? So that's a win-win deal. The other thing is going to sound a little bit odd, but it's true. Spy. You got to spy on your competition. Now, I hate to use that word, but it's kind of true in the fact that I would watch my competitors. They always say you need to keep your eye on your competitors, and that's true. What are they doing? Are they having the same problem I've got, or do they have some little secret stash of workers to where they can draw from? Where are they getting them? If they can do it, then why can't I? If I've got a trade shortage. And it's funny because when I first learned about this, I was like, well, what am I going to do? Get a flashlight and go hang out on their job at night? Or how does that work? Disguise myself as a job seeker and go try to get hired. What do you do for figuring that out? I figured out a better way. What I would do is go straight to them. I'd go up there and say, hey, Jim, I'm from so and so contractor up the street. We're definitely competitors, but I'm hanging drywall and I'm about to lose a good crew of drywall hangers. I'll trade you them for your painter. I'll trade you my drywall hangers for your painter. And it worked. It worked. He said, you know what? That's a deal. I need drywall hangers. They got to start next week. I said, you can have them, but I got to have your painters next week. And it started to work. And it's the funniest thing, but it started to spread. Many of us that were competitors, 3 or 4 of them that I was using in Central Texas that were competitors to me, we formed a coalition and we started trading trades. I'd call them up and say, hey, I need a fire alarm. You got anybody for fire alarm? No, call Jim. Okay, Jim, you got a fire alarm? He said, well, we just let go of our guys. And if you call them now, you'll get them before they go up to North Texas. And it turned into the most amazing thing because instead of being competitors who hated each other, we formed a trade coalition so that we could keep, each one of us could keep our jobs on schedule, and we would swap out trades. So trade shortages are bad now. I know that for a fact. I hear it every day. So you got to really get in creative here, and maybe form a coalition with your competitor to say, I'll give you a painter for 2 drywallers. So it's a good thing, and it can help through all the stress that comes through these projects these days. It's been said before, your high schools, literally your high schools, are unbelievable resources, because those guys are going to graduate and their parents are going to say, get out of the house, go get a job. And you have to also say, well, yeah, we got jobs. We're a construction company. And a lot of them go, oh, I wouldn't go work in the construction industry. Then all you have to do is say, well, do you know how to do gaming? Are you a gamer? Oh yeah, I'm a king of the game. Well, would you like to work with lasers? Yeah. Would you like to work with satellite technology? Well, why not? Would you love to run robots on a site? Who wouldn't? The first time I got my hands on a robot compactor, I was like, they couldn't get me off of it. So there are ways to make the project and the prospect look a whole lot more attractive